Hello YouTube. Today, or this evening, I'm doing my first ever solo wild camp and my first ever Bivvy and Tarp camp, or Bivvy and Basha, whatever you want to call it. I'm just near Ivanhoe Beacon, which is up behind me in the distance, and it's a little bit windy, so I'm not going to camp on it. Just down the bottom, getting into some woods where I'm going to try and set up in there. I'm just trying to figure out a location where I can go. So back there was like this path and then another path that was a bit close. Now I think there's quite a good bit distance of woodland between this path and the next path. I need to just get in there and find a spot. As you can see around here, it's quite dense. I don't really fancy wading through all that. But there is little gaps like this one. In fact, this is perfect, so I think I'm just going to go down here, see if I can get into these woods and find something. Problem is there's a lot of pine around here. This is maybe where the pine starts. Pine trees notoriously don't have very deep roots, so you get, you know, they fall down a lot and you can see it, they're all over the place on the floor. You don't want them falling on you when you're sleeping in your bivvy at night with your tent. So I'm going to look for a spot and try and keep away from them a bit. There was a lot more pine around here than I was hoping. Looking on the map, I thought all the pine was further on, but they are scattered in between other things. I think I've found a little spot over there that's just birch. Just thought I'd have a look at this clearing, but no. You can tell where the pines are because the ground is just brown, and obviously all the needles and stuff. And look at this, perfect example. The roots are really not that deep and they just fall down at night. Well, they fall down any time, but if they fall down at night and you're camping, you could be in big trouble. So yeah, that's the sort of thing you want to avoid. There's a clearing. Ooh, nice trees to string your tarp between. And in the middle of the night, bosh, you're gonna wake up with a headache, or not at all. Now I'm hoping over here, I'll have to clear away some of the debris, but I'm hoping that over here I'll be safe, because as far as I can see all around me, there's mostly birch and something similar. Definitely not pine anyway. And you got a small tree there, nice big tree there, and it's leaning, so there's definitely not going to slip down my ridge line. There's a big old tree falling down there. Another little clearing, but not much to tie between. I'm just scouting, looking at the trees that are close by. Got an oak there, so I think I'm pretty cool. And anything further than that, if it is a pine that falls, it should be caught by the other trees. There is a bit of, that looks like a bit of larchy type stuff. I can't see where it's come from because there's none of that above this. So either something's dragged it in here, or it's blown in here, or something, I don't know. But it's definitely not come from these trees. And by the way, over in the distance, I saw a whole family of deer going past already. The time is, let me just check the time on my watch, sorry, a bit shaking. 20 past 6, so I've got about an hour and 20 minutes before sunset. So I'm just gonna quickly try and get set up now, clear out this debris and get set up before it gets dark. Don't really want to be setting up in the dark. Alright, that was a bit of a mission. I'm glad I chose not to go up to the Ivanhoe Beacon first and walk around and then come here, because it took quite a long time to set up. It's my first time doing it. I have practiced it before, like quickly in the woods, and I practiced it in the garden with hiking poles and stuff. But it still took a while. It's getting a bit dark now, so I'm not sure the quality is going to be great. Bivvy bags just under there. That's the British Army Gore-Tex bivvy bag, which is massive, which I like because it means you can get inside it a bit easier. You can get your sleeping mat, your sleeping bag, your pillows, everything fits inside. It's the old DPM colour, which is the older camouflage, which I think works really well in the woodland actually. Unfortunately, as you can see, the Basha is the desert one, which is not the best camouflage, but it is cheaper. That's why I got it, because it was just a cheaper colour. Does a pretty good job. I think from a distance, you know, the tree trunks are brown. It's kind of level with them, so it doesn't have to be green. I think it still does a pretty good job. Got this foil mat underneath for a bit of insulation. Got this Trekology, I think it's called UL80, which is a really nice comfy mat, 10 centimetres thick. This is Issa's one actually, because my one has started to deflate during the night. And I've been talking to Trekology, and they did say they're going to send me a new one, which they haven't done yet, and they're kind of ghosting me at the moment. They're not replying to me, so I don't know what's happening there. Really good mat for a good price, but I'm not too sure about the customer service yet. Trekology pillow, which is excellent. Just a sort of summer decathlon bag. And then something else I'm borrowing off Issa is this, oh, that's my mosquito head net. This is a, sorry there's not much light now. This is a thermal liner. I think it's Cetus Summit Thermo Reactor Compact Plus or something. It's supposed to add about 10 degrees to your sleeping bag, so it should be nice and toasty with the bivvy bag and that tonight. Got a bit of reading material over here. The Celts, A Brief History by Peter Beresford Ellis. Started reading a bit of it ages ago, quite interesting. I've also got the NI Patrol Pack, British Army as well, camo. It's the older bag, it's a bit more basic, and I think you can hear noises around you. It's a bit more basic and you know, no frills, kind of smaller bag really than the modern ones are like Bergens. They're massive. So I got that just for my little solo overnight camps sort of thing. It's only 35 litres, something like that. Just enough for a small tent or a setup like this, one nighter. But it's all good tough stuff, and it's all camo, so it's good for this kind of, I want to keep it a bit quiet tonight, not have a fire. Everything's camo or green and dark colours, and just being a bit stealth. I'm not, you know, I'm not some army fetish guy. I don't want to be, I've never wanted to be in the army. I'm not trying to play Rambo. My normal hiking gear, you'll see from my other videos, is the usual bright colours and kind of modern materials and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the army surplus stuff is really tough, robust gear. It's not lightweight, but it's really strong and robust, and the camo stuff serves a purpose for when you're trying to do a bit of a stealth camp and a solo camp on your own. You're trying to keep it on the low. It's a different thing to, you know, if you're going up a mountain, you want to be seen, because if mountain rescue have to come and get you, you want bright colours. But if you're trying not to be spotted, obviously you want camo and green and browns and stuff, and the army stuff is really good for that. So anyway, enough waffling on. So before I lose too much light, I'm just going to make a quick cup of tea and get dinner on the go. I've got adventure food. Normally I have boil in the bag food, but this is a dry meal. I'll give that a go. Getting darker, as you can see. I've got the water in here, hot water in there. Got to leave it for 8 minutes, stir it again, then I can eat it. So just gonna have a little cup of tea while I'm waiting. sort of pre-prepared it. These little vitamin C pots. Shit, spilt some of the milk. It's alright, it's only a bit of powdered milk. That should be alright. Put the rest of this hot water in there. Not quite enough water really, it's going to be a tiny cup of tea. Boil up a bit more water. Just through the trees in the background there, the sun is setting. It is 7:40 exactly, so the sun is setting over there. Much darker in the woods than it is out there, I can see, obviously. So many noises here, so many noises, and I'm sure when it's dark that's going to play a bit of havoc with my mind. I forgot to bring earplugs, I really should have brought earplugs, but then again I think I'd rather be aware of what's around me, really. Anyway, my dinner's ready, so I'm going to have that and a cup of tea, and by then it'll probably be dark. Got my head torch in my pocket ready anyway, and then I'll either sit here and read a bit, or I'll just get under the tarp and in the sleeping bag and read a bit, try and drift off fairly early because I want to get up early, walk up Ivanhoe Beacon and try and get the sunrise. So this is chicken curry. Obviously it's got rice in it and it's all mixed in together. Probably can't see a damn thing now I suppose, but the sunset over there is pretty amazing. It's lighting the sky up red. It's actually a bit brighter over there now than it was like 10-20 minutes ago. The clouds all the way up are red, and then you've got the kind of little leaves in between, in front of it. Just makes it look really cool. Makes me wish I was up on Ivanhoe Beacon now, watching that sunset. I was going to camp on it, but I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. I was getting a little bit windy up there. I thought, you know, and then I've got to set up with the walking poles. Maybe I'd have felt a bit better up there. Maybe I'd have been joined by other people or something. But kind of the whole point is to do a solo camp and you know, face the obvious fears that you're probably going to get in a dark woods at night. Mostly irrational. People say, you know, it's always a bit scary the first time and then you get used to it. All the weird noises. Things sound closer than they are. I don't think you're going to get people out here. Obviously you're going to get foxes and badgers and stuff running around. Generally speaking, I don't think they're going to bother you, especially when they smell you. Probably stay away. So most of the fears are just irrational. So far, am I enjoying it? It's an experience. I don't know how often I'd do it. I'm not sure if I'll find the kind of solace that people find coming out here and be like, oh, I've had a hard week and now I'm just so glad to be away from it all. I like to be away from it all, but I'm not sure I'd call the whole experience relaxing, because you spend a lot of time, or I've spent a lot of time for some reason, setting up and everything. It's kind of work, you know. And in the morning I've got to spend a lot of time packing it all away again, which I'm not looking forward to. I suppose packing it away should be quicker than setting it up. But I couldn't have done any more. I've practiced all my knots and looked at all the videos I possibly could. I've done my practice runs in the garden and in the woods during the day over the last quite a while really. And recently camping in Snowdonia on a campsite. Me and Issa took the British Army Basha. We're really glad we did. We had it strung up in all sorts of different ways. so that we had somewhere to sit under the rain. So I've had a little bit of practice. And the next obvious thing to do was to come out and actually do it by myself with no one to help me. Might sound a bit silly to some people. If you've done it 100 times before, it's really easy for you. But it's my first time by myself with only myself to rely on, which I think is kind of cool. Sink or swim. The sun has definitely gone down. I think it can be, it's normally around about an hour before it gets really dark after the sun sets. So it won't be long now. I tell you what, I always wondered, watching other people's videos, why they have a hot drink with their meal in the evening when they're camping. I always thought, when I'm eating my meal, I just want water or squash or something. I don't want a hot drink. But actually, that's just exactly what I wanted tonight. It all makes sense suddenly. Cup of tea with a meal. You're out exposed, so a nice warm drink just makes you feel better, doesn't it? Can't beat a cup of tea. That's so English. I never thought I'd be one of those. Oh, lovely cup of that. So yeah, just got in my sleeping bag in the bivvy, in the thermal liner. Bit of a mission getting in, not too bad. Just using the head torch to give us a bit of light. Not the best, to be honest, but just to film this last bit. Just gonna read a bit of that book and hopefully drift off. I'm actually really warm at the moment. Too warm, but I often go to bed too warm, and then sort of early hours in the morning when it's the coldest, I tend to wake up cold. The cold kind of wakes me up naturally, really. So I don't know if it's just that, or whether I'm just shouldn't be wearing these layers. I don't want to take my fleece off and wake up cold though. So I think I'll just grin and bear it for now, see how it goes. If I don't film anything else, if nothing else happens, hopefully it won't, I don't want any events in the middle of the night, I shall see you in the morning. It's about 5:30. I'm up. I was absolutely freezing, to be honest. Well, not freezing, but I was a bit cold, to be honest. And that woke me up. I think it's time to crack out the winter sleeping bag next time, just for these cold mornings. At night I was warm, but then yeah, early hours, temperature just plummets at the moment. So yeah, a bit of a broken sleep, but not too bad considering. I never sleep amazing when I'm camping anyway. But I'm just going to pack up the stuff now and get up to Ivanhoe Beacon as quick as I can before the sunrise. So hopefully I can get a little time lapse. No, better pack away in the dark. Okay guys, packed up. Don't know if you can see it because there's not very good light still yet. Yeah, nothing there, leave no trace. Now I just got to make my way back through the woods to get to the path and get up to Ivanhoe Beacon. It's getting brighter very quickly at the moment. So sunrise is coming, I would say, very, very soon. Alright, so I got onto the path at last. There's me. I'll follow the path up, turn right through that field and go around, or I can just go straight on. Straight on looks quicker, doesn't it? I'm absolutely boiling now. That's the thing, as soon as you start moving, you're red hot. So I'm going to have to take this jacket off. I don't want to miss this sunrise is the only thing. 15:15. I think sunrise is at 6:40. Gives me about 25 minutes, which might be a bit of a push, so I might just put my coat away, put the GoPro away and absolutely go for it. I didn't quite make it. It's come up earlier than expected, actually. I'm still going to go up to Ivanhoe Beacon because I'm almost there now. It'd be good to get some footage up there anyway. So basically. It's up there and across. Did my best. I got up what I thought was more than early enough, but packing away took time. Anyway, I'm going to get up there. Hey, image quality not great because the GoPro's up there doing a time lapse, although it is a bit late for the sunset, but should still look good. Just boiling up some water to have a coffee now. How's that this morning for a blue sky? Look at that. Brilliant. Not a cloud in the sky. See that little dot there? That's the moon. Oh, my Cola Cow coffee. Worth getting up early for still. Okay, fun's over. We'll see what that looks like when we get back. Pretty cold now, hands. The wind up here is icy cold. It's always windy up here. Every time I come up here, no matter what kind of day it is, it's always windy here. Maybe it's the ancestors trying to tell us something. There's a guy with a remote control glider over there. You often see them up here. Try and get some footage. He just crashed it. He's crashed his glider into the side of the hill. Hope it's alright. Hopefully the car hasn't been burnt out or stolen or God knows what. I've heard horror stories about that. Even coming back down, it's a really cool landscape. We've walked up here many times. As you can see from the ground is like chalk. And this morning when I come up here, it's not too bad now. But it was really wet this morning. And when it's wet, it's like ice. Okay, so there you go. Done the drive back home. First time doing a solo wild camp and the first time using a bivvy and a tarp. I think overall probably I prefer to camp and hike and stuff with other people, which is probably strange for me to say because I do like being by myself, like not all the time, but I do like being by myself. Probably more of an introvert than an extrovert, well definitely more. But when you're doing things like that, it's good to be a team and it's good to have other people to rely on and other people to rely on you. And the thing is, with me and Issa, my girlfriend, if you don't know, we're both into outdoors and hiking and all that kind of stuff. And so we do a lot together, which makes us, well, I don't know how she feels, but I feel like I've sort of become a bit reliant on her a lot of times. So when we're out together, we'll be like asking each other, should we do this? Should we do that? What do you think? Is it this way or is it that way? I'm not sure. Look at the map, see what you think. What should we do? Should we set up first? Or, you know, we sort of ask each other questions and we bounce off each other, which is great. It's good teamwork. And it means that we're working together. And that's good. But it's good to also get out by yourself and rely on no one but yourself. You know, I was out there in the woods on my own and there was no way out. There was no one to call. It was like I had to be completely self-reliant. And I'd practiced it a few times and to be honest, you know, there's nothing to worry about. It went perfectly fine. And one thing I'll say, a lot of people have mentioned before that when you first do a wild camp, especially in the woods, that you get the fear. And that you can get a bit of a panic going on about all the noises around you, and the dark woods is a scary place to be at night. I was worried that I would get that, but I never did get that. Yeah, there was noises around, a lot of noises around. Mostly birds, to be honest, but it makes you look up and you're looking around trying to figure out, because you just want to know what's there, what is making that noise. And you don't necessarily, well, you never really find out. There's nothing there, you can't see anything. All I saw was some deer in the background, which was just nice to see, really. But yeah, it was more like a fear of getting the fear. But it never came. I never really felt bothered. I never felt sort of scared. So yeah, it was fine. It all went pretty swimmingly. It took me quite a long time to set up. I thought it would be quicker than that, but apart from that, all went fine. I did just about miss the sunrise, like the beginning of it, but that's fine. And it was kind of a means to an end in the end, really. I was like, sort of woke up and I was like, what did I actually do? I came to the woods, ate some dinner out of a bag, and then had a bad night's sleep. Was it worth it? Well, when I was walking in the morning and the sun was just coming up and you had the amazing views and the amazing sun, I was like, okay, that's why I did it. All in all, a positive experience. Probably will do it again at some point, but I'm not in a hurry, because I think I do prefer doing it with other people, whether it's just Issa and me or a group of us. So anyway, hope this was helpful or educational. If you're considering of doing a solo wild camp yourself, I'd say practice a few skills first, or take a tent that you know you can set up easily, that you've set up before, so you don't come a cropper when you're out there. First time you probably will overpack, but it's better to overpack than have things missing. And just get out there and do it. You know, just get out there and sort of put yourself out of your comfort zone. If you do like our videos and find them interesting and useful, please like, subscribe and hit the notifications button so that you get the updates of our new videos. Cheers for watching.